Welcome back to Healthy Aging with Nutrition. Have you ever started your morning feeling perfectly fine, only to suddenly feel a wave of dizziness, weakness, or a strange sense that something is off? For most people over 60, these moments are easy to dismiss as just being tired or not fully awake. But here's the hidden truth. Sometimes they are the body's first quiet warning of a potential stroke. And the surprising part, the cause can be something as simple as the way you start your day. Today, we're going to uncover 5 specific morning habits that could be putting unnecessary strain on your brain and stroke risk, especially if you're over 60. You'll see how they affect your body, the science behind why they matter, and, most importantly, the simple adjustments that can make your morning safer and your brain healthier. Every morning, as your body transitions from rest to activity, your brain and blood vessels work hard to adjust. But certain everyday habits, things you might have been doing for years, can create sudden changes in blood pressure, blood flow, or vessel strain. In some cases, these changes can silently increase your stroke risk overnight. The danger is that these habits often feel harmless, so we rarely question them. And before we get started, if you enjoy practical, science-backed tips to stay healthy and strong as you age, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Healthy Aging with Nutrition. So stay with me, because the habit we'll discuss first is something almost every senior does without thinking, and fixing it takes less than a minute. Number 1. Standing up too quickly after waking. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, your brain and body begin to shift from rest to action. Your heart rate increases slightly, your blood vessels adjust, and your muscles prepare to move. But if you stand up too quickly right after waking, your body doesn't always have enough time to make these adjustments. The sudden movement can cause your blood pressure to drop sharply, a condition called orthostatic hypotension. When this happens, less blood flows to your brain for a few moments. You might feel lightheaded, dizzy, or even see spots in your vision. For younger people, this is often harmless and goes away in seconds. But for older adults, these drops in blood flow can be more dangerous. Think about it this way. Your brain is like a delicate machine that needs a steady supply of blood and oxygen to work well. When that supply is suddenly interrupted, even for a short time, it puts extra stress on your blood vessels. The good news? Preventing this is simple. When you wake up, take a moment before jumping out of bed. Open your eyes slowly. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Gently stretch your arms and legs. Then roll to your side and use your arms to push yourself up into a sitting position. Rest there for about 10 to 15 seconds before standing. This gives your blood vessels time to adjust and keeps your brain's blood flow steady. I know this might feel like a small change, but it's one of those small changes that can protect your brain in the long run. A minute of patience each morning can save you from a lifetime of recovery. Number 2. Skipping water first thing in the morning. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is naturally low on fluids. You haven't had a sip of water all night. And during sleep, you lose moisture through breathing and even a little through your skin. By the time you wake up, your blood is slightly thicker than it was the day before. For older adults, this mild dehydration can have a bigger impact. Your heart has to work harder to pump that thicker blood, and your brain may receive less oxygen-rich blood than it needs. When blood becomes more concentrated, it also becomes stickier, which means it can clot more easily. This is important to understand because many strokes are caused by blood clots blocking a vessel in the brain. If you already have risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, or atrial fibrillation, waking up dehydrated adds another layer of danger. Studies have shown that the early morning hours are when strokes happen most often, and dehydration is one reason why. You might be thinking, but I don't feel thirsty in the morning. That's common. Our sense of thirst becomes less sensitive as we age. But just because you don't feel thirsty doesn't mean your body doesn't need water. In fact, for people over 60, making water your very first drink of the day can be a powerful form of stroke prevention. It helps thin the blood slightly, improves circulation, and gently wakes up your digestive system. The best approach is simple. Keep a glass or small bottle of water by your bed or in the kitchen, ready for you in the morning. Drink at least half a cup before your coffee or tea. So that's why skipping water in the morning can quietly raise your stroke risk. It's such a simple habit to fix, yet it can make a real difference for your brain and heart.
How about you? Have you been making this mistake without even realizing it? Share this video with friends or family so they can start their mornings in a healthier way too. Sometimes, one small change can protect the people we care about most.
Number 3. Eating a high-salt breakfast without realizing it. For many of us, breakfast is a comforting routine. Toast with butter, a slice of cheese, maybe a little bacon or ham. These foods taste familiar and satisfying, but they also share something in common: hidden salt. Salt, or sodium, is not just what you sprinkle on top of your food. It's already inside many packaged, processed, and even healthy breakfast items. Bread, cereals, canned soups, smoked meats, cheese, and even some spreads can carry far more salt than you might think. Why does this matter for stroke risk? Too much salt in the diet raises blood pressure, and high blood pressure is the #1 cause of strokes. When you start your morning with a salty meal, your blood pressure can spike earlier in the day. The tricky part is that you might not taste the salt. Food companies often use salt as a preservative or flavor enhancer, so even sweet foods like pastries, muffins, or breakfast bars can contain surprising amounts. This means it's easy to eat a high-salt breakfast without realizing it, and the effects build up quietly, day after day. The good news is you don't have to give up flavor to reduce salt. Try swapping processed meats for fresh eggs or yogurt, choosing low-sodium bread, or adding fresh fruit to your plate. Reading nutrition labels can also help. Aim for breakfast items with less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving whenever possible. And if you enjoy seasoning, herbs and spices like oregano, basil, or cinnamon can add flavor without putting extra stress on your heart and brain. Making these small adjustments can lower your risk of stroke, protect your heart, and still let you enjoy breakfast without worry. Number 4. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. For many people, coffee is the very first thing they reach for in the morning. That warm aroma, that first sip, it feels like the perfect way to start the day. But drinking coffee on an empty stomach can create a chain reaction in the body that isn't always healthy, especially for older adults. When you drink coffee before eating anything, the caffeine is absorbed quickly into your bloodstream.
This can cause a sudden spike in blood pressure and heart rate. Over time, these repeated spikes can contribute to higher stroke risk. Coffee on an empty stomach also stimulates the release of stomach acid. This can cause discomfort, heartburn, or irritation, which may affect your appetite for a proper breakfast. Missing or delaying a balanced meal means your body misses out on the nutrients that help stabilize blood sugar and support steady blood flow to the brain. And since the early morning hours are already the peak time for strokes, adding this extra stress to your cardiovascular system isn't the best way to start the day. The key is timing. Try drinking a small glass of water first, then having a light breakfast such as fruit, yogurt, or whole grain toast before your first cup. This helps your body handle caffeine more gently, reduces the sudden blood pressure spike, and still lets you enjoy the comfort of your morning coffee. Think of it as giving your heart and brain a soft start instead of an abrupt wake-up call. You still get the pleasure and alertness coffee brings, but without the unnecessary strain on your body. Your mornings will feel just as satisfying, only safer. So, have you been starting your mornings with coffee on an empty stomach? Or maybe you've spotted other morning habits that could be harmful. Share your thoughts in the comments so we can all learn from each other. And stay with us, because next we'll talk about one last morning mistake that many people never expect, yet it could be the most important one of all. Number 5. Ignoring subtle morning warning signs. Every morning our bodies send us little signals about our health. Sometimes they're easy to ignore, especially if we think they're just signs of getting older. But certain symptoms in the morning can be early warnings of a stroke, and missing them can have serious consequences. One example is waking up with sudden dizziness or loss of balance. It might feel like you just stood up too fast or didn't sleep well, but in some cases, it can signal reduced blood flow to the brain. Another is numbness or tingling in the face, arm, or leg, if it's only on one side. Even mild weakness in your hand or trouble gripping your toothbrush could be a red flag. Vision changes in the morning can also be a sign. If you suddenly see double, lose part of your vision, or notice that your vision is blurry in one eye, it's not something to brush off. The challenge is that these warning signs can be brief. They might fade in minutes, leading people to think, "It's nothing, I'm fine now." But these short episodes, known as transient ischemic attacks or mini-strokes, are your body's way of sounding the alarm. Statistics show that having a mini-stroke can greatly increase your chance of a major stroke in the days or weeks that follow. For older adults, it's important to remember that time is everything. If you or someone you live with experiences these symptoms, even for a moment, don't wait to see if it gets better. Call emergency services right away. Quick action can mean the difference between a full recovery and life-changing damage. Listening to your body in the morning is one of the simplest and most powerful forms of stroke prevention. When you treat even small, strange symptoms seriously, you give yourself the best chance to stay healthy, independent, and active for years to come. So now you know. Some of the simplest morning habits can quietly raise your risk of stroke overnight. Standing up too quickly, skipping water, eating a high-salt breakfast, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, and ignoring subtle warning signs. They may seem harmless, but for those of us over 60, they can put real stress on the heart and brain. The good news is, every one of these habits can be changed starting tomorrow morning. You don't have to make all these changes at once.
Even 1 or 2 small adjustments can lower your risk and give you more energy throughout the day. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each healthy choice you make in the morning is an investment in your independence, your memory, and the time with the people you love. If today's video has opened your eyes to new risks or reminded you of habits you've been meaning to change, take a moment right now to share it with your friends and family. Sometimes a single conversation can prevent a stroke and save a life. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new video on how to eat smart and support your health naturally.